here. Today we're going to be doing a frog with this really cute fabric mesh. This is the 21-inch and it's 10 yards. And I have this cute little frog form. It has the whole thing. It has the head, the arms, and the leg. And I thought it would be really fun to do. I've had a lot of questions about how to start from just a regular wireframe. So this is actually one of the Dollar Tree frames. It's a 14-inch, and this is what we're going to use today. So we're going to do the whole thing from scratch. I'm also going to make sure I show you how to do the ribbon because I've had some questions about that. So let's get started. Okay, so I have the mesh here, a little fabric mesh. I have some 10-inch as well in case it looks a little thin to me. If it does, then we'll do ruffles. Okay, I have lots of pipe cleaners. And then this is all the ribbon we're going to use. So I've got green and yellow with some orange in it, and then yellow, green and white, green and yellow, yellow, and more green. So I thought that would be fun. Alright, so what we're going to do to start out is we're going to put our pipe cleaners on first. So what I will do is I like to start right where there's a little cross junction. And the reason I do that is because it's just a little easier to tie it on and get it nice and tight like this. So see, all I did is wrap it around and then I'll just twist it one time like that. See, and I just have it on there tight. And what I do is I use the pipe cleaners and I just fold it over to figure out where to put the next one. And then I'll just go right where that one is. Okay, and you want to put it on there pretty tight because you don't want it to be moving. So one thing you can do is you can go above it like this and come back down and then tie it as tight as you can get it, and that will help so it won't move so much. Okay, and then I'll do the same process. Go over, grab another pipe cleaner, and I'll just go ahead and go right on the upper and lower on this one, and then just tie it really, really, really tight like that. Okay, and then I'll go over again. See, when I tie it really tight like that, you really can't move it. You see how that is? So that works out great. So I'll just go over again, go between the first and second. I do wrap it once around that bottom and then go towards the bottom and then just tie it really tight. And all I'm doing is holding this and twisting it around. See? It's on there good. So I will just keep doing this all the way around. I will do the exact same thing on the top. So with this wreath base, so most of the wreath bases have 3 to 4. So I'll show you one of the other kind. So this is the other kind. So you would do the same thing. You would start on the first one and you would do the last one. Hold on, let me close my door. Okay. So I will do the same thing. I will just go up to the top and I'm going to go right to that same one on the top. I'm just going to wrap it around both sides and then just tie it off in the middle, right like that. There we go. Then I'll go over and I'll go in between these two, the first and second, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So go around one, and then I'm going to hold both of them together and twist it really tight. Just like that. See? That's good. Now do the same thing. Pull it over. See, now it starts off the same, but you see it starts to diverge. And the reason is because it's not really the same. So see, the outer is a lot wider than the inner. So it's normal for it to start, for you to have less on the top than on the bottom. Okay, so I wrapped it around once. I have them together. I'll pull them together in the center and just tie it off really tight, just like that. Okay, I'll just do the same thing. Use my pipe cleaner, go over, wrap it around the top, and then secure it by tying it really tight. Okay, so that's all I do. That's what I do to get my frame ready. Okay? See, and I want to show you. So this is a work wreath form, and this one comes preloaded. Okay, but I want to show you. If you put this tie over, look where it lands. Right where this one begins. So see, it's the exact same thing. It's the same way that these are set up. So the only real difference between this one and doing your own is that you're saving time. These are thicker and you can use them more as a decoration. So that's really the only difference between getting the work wreath form and getting the wire form. So I did want to show you that. So I will keep putting these ties on, and then when I come back, we'll start putting our mesh on. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I've gotten all of my ties on. And, well, come on, Bella. I will open them all up like this, just like I would on a work wreath. Just makes it a little easier when you're going around. Okay. So I'm gonna start on the inner layer. And you know, there's no rhyme or reason. You can start on the inner layer or the outer layer. That's strictly a choice thing. So, let's see. So I'm just going to get a couple of zip ties out. Okay. Alright. So what I'm going to do, isn't this pretty? I love this fabric mesh. It's not as stiff as the Deco mesh, and so it just seems to me like it's a little bit easier to kind of work with. I'm just cutting off that little string. Okay, so what I do is I will pinch it up like this, and then I will figure out where I want to start. I usually like to start at the one that's on the crossbar right here. This one. Let me put this down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And I will kind of I will go underneath it like this. So I'll kind of pull it back so you can see. I'll just put my zip tie through here. And I will put this down.
This is what power is right here. You see this? This is the power.
And I'll just tie it off. Like that. And then cut this off because I won't need it. Alright. So, I'm starting it right next to this tie right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up 1, 2, just like that, instead of measuring. Now, you can measure. I just prefer to do it this way just because it's a lot faster. And I still get a really good amount. So I just go 1, 2. I'm gonna move this over there. There we go. And you can go in any direction you want to. You can go this way, it doesn't matter. It seems the same to me. I'm right-handed, but I don't know. It seems like sometimes I go this way and sometimes I go this way, but 1, 2. I just thought it would be easier to go this way today so you can see what I'm doing. So my hand doesn't get in the way so much. So 1, 2. Just go into the next tie. Okay. There we go. And 1, 2. Whoop. 1, 2. Okay. I'm just tying it down one good time. I don't want to tie it multiple times because I know I'm going to be going in there with ribbon. So, 1, 2. Here we go. Okay. 1, 2. So just put that one down. Okay. 1, 2. Alright, hold on, let me shut my door. Sorry, my boys have friends over, so they're in there just talking away. Okay, 1, 2, and then we're back to that first tie. So I'll tie this down like this. There we go. Alright. See how those colors pretty? I like that. So, the reason that I started right here in this little crossbar is because I knew I had one at this same spot. So what I like to do, and every person's different, is I like to pull it down like this to the second layer and use a zip tie, because that way it will hold it in place. And since I'm going to where there is the start, it will cover it as I'm going around. Okay? So, I will just start doing the same thing. So this will be my end point right here. So I'll just go 1, 2. Tie it down one good time. Just tying it down one good time, fluffing it out. and go to the next one. Now, we have made our basic poof wreath. You see that? So that's the basic one. And this is about how much we have left. Now this mesh can be a little bit on the thin side. So there's a few options you have. You can continue to use this mesh, and a really good thing to do is to go from the top back to the from the bottom to the top and go back into ones that are already there, like this. So just undo that tie, put your puff down, and retie it, and then fluff it out. It gives it more of a complicated look, more of a depth look. It also helps to kind of fill in, because when you make these like this, you can tend to have spots that are open in between. So this is a really great method to, one, use up the rest of your roll. And you probably won't be able to do every one, so let's see. So we'll go back down, open this one back up, put that puff down. I'm doing about the same size puff. Okay, and we're still going to have our ties where we can put in our ribbon. So those are still there. It won't affect that. All you're really doing is adding some more into this. Okay, so I'll just keep going. So I'll just pull about the same amount, and I'll go to the top. And I know it's hard to see, but I'll just undo this one, put this down, and then tie it back. Okay? See how it looks? So see, you still have your puffs here, and you still have your puffs here, but now you have some going back and forth like this. So I'll just keep doing that. It almost gives it like a third layer. That's what I like about it. So now I'll go from the top back to the bottom, open this one back up, put it down, and tie it off. Okay? And then fluff that out. So all you're really doing is kind of filling in some of the gaps that you have when you make this kind of wreath. Alright, so then we'll go, oops, I think my mesh is kind of twisted here. Okay, so we'll go from the bottom to the top. I think we'll go to this one. Okay, I just open that up, put it down, and tie it back, and then fluff it out. So that's all I'm doing. And this is another great way to make sure that you're not left with a bunch of extra. Because a lot of times when you make a wreath, especially if you make one with one of the smaller bases, then you're going to end up with a lot of extra. And if you're like me, you don't feel like you can throw it away, so it will just sit there. Okay. It will just sit there and collect dust. So top to bottom to top. Go into this one. Okay. And if I cover the whole wreath before I finish with my mesh, then I'll just stop. Okay. Go down. So we have gone back to the area that we started. And so that's what we end up with. So, what I'll do now is I will just, I think I will probably keep going around just because this is thin. But I'll keep going around back and forth until I run out of this roll. And then when I get back, we will start putting our ribbons on, and we will put our little frog in, and we're going to make a bow. So I'll be back. Alright, so I've gotten to the last piece. I couldn't go any further, and I'm up at the top. So all I'm going to do is flip it around, take this piece, and tie it down to the base. And that'll be it. We will be done with the poof part. Now this is just a really good method to use if you're doing a poof wreath and you're using mesh that's not very thick, that you can kind of see through. It just really helps to give it that extra fullness so that there are no pieces showing. It's just a really cute little way to hide the frame, and it makes it fuller. I like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start putting in ribbon, and I want to show you what the plan is here. So my little frog, and I want him to be up here, okay? And then I want his little arms here. Oh, that's a leg. His little legs down here, okay? And those little arms here. And right here in the middle, we're going to put a bow, because I just think that's so cute. Because that'll represent his body. So I'll put him away, because what we're going to do first is we're just going to cut some ribbons to put in. I'm going to make them, I think we're going to do, let me just see if I did 12 inches. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so we're going to do 12 inches. So what I will do is I will use my little piece of cardboard that I have cut at 6 inches. So what I do is I cut a piece of cardboard at 6 inches, wrapped it in duct tape, and then I can use it as a tool to wrap my ribbon around. So one time around is a 12-inch ribbon. So this way I can do several at one time. So I will just wrap this around, and when I come back up to the top, I know it's the top because I have it notched. I'll just cut it off and slip my scissors through there and cut it. See, in just that fast I did, what, 5. Okay? Then I'll just bend those over, cut it at an angle. Okay? Same thing on this side. Fold it over, cut at an angle, and there you go. So, I'm just going to do the exact same thing with all these ribbons here. So I won't make you watch me cut all of them, but I will go ahead and cut out some ribbons, and I will come back and we will put some ribbons on. Then we will make our bow, and we're going to make a bow with all of these colors together, which is a terry bow. We're going to be using Provo the hand, and I will show you how to use that. You can also do this by hand. It just is a little bit more effort, but you certainly can. So when I get back, I'll show you all that. Be back soon. Okay, I've gotten some ribbon cut, so we can start putting them on. So I'm going to start on the on the outside, on the bottom, and what I do is I just take 2 different ribbons like this, find the center, and then pinch it up. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can put your ribbon streamers on. You can put them like this and just kind of fold them over, okay, like this, so that they're kind of scooped over. The other way, sorry, allergies, is to take the bottom one like this and the top one like this. And then you will see the 2 distinctive ribbons. So I'll show you what that looks like. So if you go down to your base, find one of your ties, open it up, put your ribbon down, and this time when you tie it, you want to tie it 1, 2, 3. Now, this is pipe cleaners, so there's a couple different ways, and I'll go ahead and show you that while we're on it. There's a couple different ways that you can kind of hide these. You can clip them off and just hide them behind the puff, just like that. And that's a really good method. Okay. Or you can take it like this. Take a pencil and wrap it around the pencil, and what that does is it almost creates like a small little decorative piece. So when you get your ribbons on, make sure you can see this, you just want to fluff them out. See, now I am using wired ribbon, and a lot of the reason that I use it is because this particular thing. So you see how you can see all of that ribbon? It looks really nice and big. If you use ribbon that does not have wire in it, it's really hard to get it to stand up like that. So I'm going to go to the next tie, just right here. And I'm just going to pick out 2 more ribbons. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to find the middle, I'm going to pinch them. This is going to be my bottom ribbon, and this is going to be my top ribbon. So I'll just take them, open my tie back up right here, put them down, put my tie back, 1, 2, 3, like that. What do I do with my pencil? There we go. And then just roll it around my pencil like that. Whoops, let me go out the other end. There we go. Now, I will fluff up my ribbons using that wire that's in them, just like that. You see? You see how cute that looks? See, and you have that little detail in the middle because we rolled it up. Okay. So that's how you do like this. Now, if you don't want to separate your ribbons like that, then what you can do, and I'll take 2 more pieces, find the middle, you can pinch them together, and I'll show you this one on top. You can take this open, just like this, put it down, do your tie, 1, 2, 3, and you can just fluff them together like this. So see, that also looks good. Now I really like to be able to see both of my ribbons, so I'll just pull them apart like this and fluff them both out, just like that. Then I'll take my little ties, pull them down like that, and then pull my pencil out. There we go. So that's how you do the ribbon streamers. So you see how well you can see that? Now, one thing that you need to know is that when you do these, and you're going to put embellishments in, and we're going to be putting the frog in, these are going to get moved and they're going to get smashed and whatever. So just remember that when you get done with your wreath, you're going to come back and you're going to need to touch every ribbon, most likely. So I will keep putting these ribbons on exactly the same way. And then when I come back, what I will do is we will put our frog on, and we're going to make our bow for the middle. And so I'm probably not going to put, so our head's going to go probably up here. So I'm probably not going to put a ribbon on maybe this one and this one, just because I don't think I'm going to need it, because I'm going to have the head there. So I will keep going around putting these on, and then when I get back, we'll put the frog on and do our bow, and then we'll be done. So I'll be back shortly. Alright, so I've gotten a whole bunch of ribbon in, and I left a little space right there because that's where I'm going to put our head on. Now, this comes with wire. I mean, that's just so brilliant. I love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these. I'm going to figure out where I want it to go. I want it to be kind of right here. I'm just going to take this wire. I'm just going to move my mesh around and run it right down to the base, right in here. So I'll just run it to the base. I'm going to tie it loosely at first just to make sure I have it in the right spot. Same thing on this side. I'll just move my mesh aside. find the frame and tie it down.
There we go.
There we go. Then I can just move my mesh back. There we go. See, now we've got our head tied on. And if I'm sure he's in the right spot, I'll just flip this over to the back and finish. See right here. And make sure you can see. Right here. I'm just tying it onto the base. Like that. And right here. Make sure it's on there securely. Alright. Now that we've gotten the head on, we need to make our little body so that we can put our little legs and our little feet. So I'm just going to move our wreath aside. And I am going to pull out the Pro Bow. So, the Pro Bow, the hand, is really great if you want to make a bow that has several different ribbons. So we have 5 different types of ribbon, and I just thought it would be really cute to make a bow with all 5. So it comes with this little spool holder, and I just stack so if I have 2 or 3, I just stack them on top of each other. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need some wire. So you'll need one that is about 22. Okay, and the other one about 26. So I just cut those off. The longer one I'm just gonna set aside. No, sorry, the shorter one I'm gonna set aside. The longer one I'm gonna have out. So what I want to do is start with my first ribbon. And I have my pegs set on C. So this is kind of how this works. You put all your little pegs in. And this bow, I know I figured this out before. Let's see. It's about 5 inches. Now you don't have to use this middle peg if you don't want to have one in the middle, but I just like to have one in the middle. I want my middle one to be this yellow and green. I like to put my smaller ones up on the top. See, like this one over here. You see how it has it on the top? So that's what we're going to do. So I usually put my tails about the length between the middle and the end. So about right here. Now, this is the top of the bow. This is the back of the bow. So you want to make sure when you're putting it on here that you have it facing out. If you don't have one of these and you don't want to buy one of these, what you can do is just make these bows individually and then just take one wire and tie them all together. That works just as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my longest wire. I'm going to find the center. And this is where I want it to be. That's where I want my tail to be. So I will just twist this wire around a couple of times.
Hello!
Hey, Ross!
Hi, everyone.
Ross came in.
Oh, God.
You okay?
Yeah. It broke me.
It's the wire, buddy. Okay. You're okay.
I don't know.
You gonna sit down?
Sure.
Okay. So first I will make my little tail. So I just fold it over and cut a little detail. So I have my wire here, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up against this little dowel, which they call a finger. I want to put it about in the middle. You don't want to go to the bottom, because if you do, you're going to have a lot of trouble when you're working on your ribbon. So I'm going to take this big wire and I'm going to go around to the left, and I'm going to loop this all the way around like that. And the reason you do that is because when you're done, you're going to use that and take it off. I take the bottom wire, I loop it around this little nail at the bottom, and I put it underneath the bow maker. It just kind of keeps it out of the way, because we won't need that till later. Alright, so now we've gotten this part. You can take your... You leaving?
Yeah.
Okay, bye buddy. Hey Ross,
Yeah.
can you close that door, baby?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so I just take my tail and just kind of put it out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first, pull it up around this middle peg and come back. And then I'm going to pinch it here and just kind of pull it out of the way. Now this is where you're going to use your shorter wire. So I will find the middle of this shorter wire, and I will come up here and I will run it underneath where I have this, and make sure you can see that. So see, it's right around that, because what I want to do is bring this, pinch it, and wrap that wire going up and down around that. See? You want to make sure it's still facing the front, and then cut it off at C. And then I can fold it over, cut my little detail. Then I'll move that out of the way. Now,
Hello.
hey
Can
Carson.
you change the batteries to this?
Alright, so this wire that we just tied this ribbon together, you want to keep it going up and down. One going down, one going up. The reason is that what you're going to do, and we can move this one out of the way. What you're going to do is you're going to bring your ribbon over, and you're going to use this little wire to tie it on. So then you're not having to use your hands to do everything. That's why I like this. So you can, I'll bring my next one up. I'm going to pinch it, and I'm going to bring the bottom wire up and the top wire down. Just like that. See, now it holds it in place, and I don't have to worry about it. So then, if one of my boys come in, which you can tell they do a lot, and I have to go out, I can just leave it sitting here, and I don't have to worry about it. Now you can do the exact same thing with the bow dabber. So if you like to use the bow dabber, works great too. I like the Pro bow if I'm going to do a more complicated bow. Okay, so I've gotten my tail, and I always go to the right. I go right, right, then left. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to go around the second peg, I'm going to come back to the center, I'm going to pinch it, I'm going to twist it, and the reason I'm doing that is because I want that pretty side up, because remember, this is the front of the bow. So I'll just hold that with my finger, bring it back, pinch it, and twist it again. So now I've made my second bow, and I will go bring my top wire up and my bottom wire down, and it holds it. So that's why I like this. So I'll just cut this at the C where I know I want my tails to be, cut my little edge, and put it out of the way. So I'm done with this one. Okay. So my next one is going to be the yellow. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing. Whoops. I'm going to cut that off because it's the beginning of a roll. Okay. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to bring the bottom wire up and the top wire down. Okay. So now I'll just fold this in half. Cut it at an angle. Make my little detail, and I'm going to put that out of the way. Okay. So now, I'll just go on to the next one. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to go around the next little, they call these fingers, I just call them dowels. I'll go back to the center, pinch it, just like that, twist it, and go up to the next one, just like that. Come back, okay, pinch it, twist it, and put it out of the way. Then I'm going to do the same thing. Pull this wire up, this wire down, and just tighten it. There we go. Okay. Then I will cut this off at C. Fold it. Cut my little detail. Move it out of the way. So we're done with this ribbon now. So you can kind of see how this works. It's really very, very simple. And of course, it's very simple to do this without this. This one is really great for people whose hands hurt, or just want to have some help making bows. If you struggle making bows, then getting bow makers really does help you learn how to do it. So I'm going to go on to my next ribbon. I'm going to pinch it, go up and down without pulling too tight. Okay. And I'm just going to fold it over, cut my detail, put it out of the way. Alright. So I'm going to go up around the next dowel right here. Go back to the center. I'm going to twist it, go around the next one, come back to the center, twist it, and go over to the side. Then I'll go up with one wire and down with the other. Alright. Then I'll just pull it over, cut it at C, bend it over, put my little detail on it, push it out of the way. Okay, so we are on to our very last ribbon. So on my last ribbon, I will do, see, I like this ribbon. This ribbon just has a lot of pretty detail in it, so I want this to be my ribbon that I use the most. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. Just going to pinch it. Pull the wire up and down just to hold it in place. Fold it over and cut my little detail. And then I'll move that out of the way, just like that. Now, I'm going to go around the first one, just like that. Come back to the center, pinch it, and we'll hold it with my thumb. Twist it, go around that finger, and what's different this time is we're going to do this again. So this one's going to have more than one loop in it. So I'll keep holding it, I'll pinch it, twist it, go around the next finger, bring it back to the center, pinch it, twist it, go around this one, come back to the center, then I will pinch it again, twist it, and now I'm going to go up and down with my wire. This time I'm going to twist it one time. All right, I will cut it at C, and I will make my detail. So that's it. So we have just made our bow. Now, of course, that's the easy part. Now you have to take it out and you have to fluff it out. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can put it on your wreath and fluff it out. Or you can use, see now, you can buy this from the person who created the Pro Bow. You can make one of these yourself. It's just a very solid, heavy piece of wood. It has a little eye hook in the center, and then it has a nail at the end. Okay? Okay, so once we've gotten it to this point, you're going to take that little wire that we tied around and pull it off like that. Loosen that one from the bottom. And then you want to tie it really tight, and I just twist it. That just helps to me. And then I will take these two together and twist it like that. And then I just slide my hands under, loosen it up. Now it looks like a hot mess, doesn't it? That's okay. That's because we haven't spread it out. All right. Look at that. Okay. So what I'll do now is I will slide this underneath that hook, and there is a little nail here, and I will twist it around the nail, and then I will just use this. Whoops, I think it came loose. Okay, I will use this to start fluffing it out. Okay, so I want the center one to stay in the center, but I want to start moving these in opposite directions. So I'll put those two on opposite ends, as well as their little tails, and then I'll put these two on opposite ends of those two and their tails, like that. Okay, I want to spread this one out and this one out. So see, all I'm doing is moving them so that you can see all of the ribbon. Okay, now I want to spread these two apart, just like that. Like that. And then I will just fluff them up, and I will move my little tails around like this. This one I'm going to bring up, okay, so that you can see it. There we go. I will finish fluffing this when I get it on my wreath. I just like to do the initial pulling these apart on here. Alright, now I just loosen it from this and just slip it right back out. There we go. Then I can put this away. It's very heavy. Alright. So now I'll bring my wreath back, and I'll show you what I was thinking. So this little bow right here is going to be his body. You see? Kind of like his head's coming out from the bow. I don't know, I just like that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bow, I'm going to pull the wire through the back. I'm I'm going to take part of it to one side and part of it to the other side. It will just kind of help keep it in place so that it will not move, and I'm just going to wrap this wire around the frame like this, and over here. Okay, I want to move it back around like this and make sure it's still in the right place. Now I've crushed it, but I'll fix that. Okay. I think we need to pull it over to this side a little bit more. So I'll just go back here and pull it to that side a little more. Come back around. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay. Then I'll start refluffing it. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. So this part, of course, always takes a while when you're doing a wreath. So I won't make you watch this whole thing, but I want you to see what I'll do. So the next thing I want to do is figure out where I'm going to put the arms and the legs. So I think the arms, I'm going to put them like they're coming up to the body like this. See? I like that. And then the legs, I want to put them almost like they're kind of, see, this has wire, so you can kind of bend it like that. So we'll put our arms like this and our legs like that. I like that. Okay, so to do that, all you're going to do, this has wire, so you just want to run it through the base, kind of move your mesh aside. Now just run it down to the base. I'll show you from the back. So I'll run it down to the base right here. I'll just tie it around. And that's all there is to putting that on. Okay. There we go. Alright. I like that. So I'll kind of move the arm to make sure you can see it. Then I want to put the other arm in about the same location. So I'll bend this down so I can run it through to the base. Right there. Okay, like that. Okay, and then I will come down here and tie it around. Just like that. Okay, there we go. So now we have two arms. We have our little body. Alright, now we want our little legs like they're coming out of the body. So I will bend this down. I'll kind of move my mesh around a little bit. Whoops. It's getting caught. So I know it's right back here. So I'm just going to run it back like this, turn it around, and tie it around the base. Just like that. Okay? And then I can kind of move my ribbons back to hide all the inner workings. So see, we have our ribbon streamers here. that we can move around. And we have our bow that we can move around. Okay, so now we'll put the other leg over here. Do the same thing. So I'll just move it, run it down to the base, and then tie it around. Just like that. There we go. Alright, now, same thing. I'm just going to move the bow and the streamers so that they hide his little workings. Like that. Then I'll just kind of move my little bows around, fluff them out. So we want it to be pretty seamless to look like his body. And that's pretty much it. Then I'll just go back and fluff all my ribbons back out. Kind of move his head, make sure he's in the right place. And then for the back, what I'll do is I will use I have some of this rustic looking wire, and I will use it to make a little hook, and then I will take, this is just a placemat that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I will put it around the back to hide all of the workings. And then, no matter which way you look at it, you're not going to see all this mess in the back. You're just going to see nice uniform. Now, of course, I will find one that's either green or yellow, or orange. Orange would work. And use that so that it coordinates. And that's it. I hope you like this. And let me know what you thought. And what you would like to see next. So I have quite a few things planned, but I of course can stick some things in between. So make sure that you like and subscribe, and let me know what you thought. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.